All right, I got my Hollister shirt, surprise. Got my Epiphone Les Paul, double surprise. And this is week 7. This is lick 7. Therefore, it must be lick of the week number 7. So before we delve too deep into the lick, I did want to mention that I am honored and proud to say that I am now a guitarist for Hangman's Ghost. You can easily find us by going to Facebook and searching Hangman's Ghost. It's quite an honor, and I'll be honest with you, compared to past bands where I was trying to make it, for money, for plays, for stardom, whatever, that's the first practice since my first band that it has been fun. It's not about who can do better or who can make the song better or let's outperform insert name. It was a really good time. And, yeah, I really am glad that I can say that. And I do want to mention that I went to tune this thing. This is an Epiphone Les Paul, and keep in mind I'm always playing with a Gibson SG. It had no tuning problems. I mean, it's probably been 2 days that I've let it sit, and I've had it in the floor, hooking my amp back up from band practice. I'm impressed. I want to mention that. The main 2 things with this lick, number 1, this is very much a storytelling lick. And 9 times out of 10, if you ask somebody what their favorite solo is or what they think the greatest guitar solo of all time is, they're going to name something that has this component to it or element. Because if you notice, the only reason that the main lick, as I call it, the only reason it sticks out is that you have started with a slow lick. You have introduced the opportunity for speed to be felt because you've played something slower and a lot more open before you burst into shredding. And I think that in of itself is a very important thing to learn. Whatever solo you want to cite, I mean, I'm going to cite a Dimebag Darrell solo, and we can go with Floods, we can go with Cemetery Gates, even Eruption by Van Halen, Detroit Rock City by Ace Frehley, or Kiss. It's very much a story. It's not just what I said last week, look what I can do. So that's the first thing. The second thing to mention about this lick, there's been licks before it that we've talked about this, the element of surprise. This time it starts off and it has a very pentatonic blues scale feel to it. There's no defined sixth at that point in the scale because pentatonic skips that, and it makes it a dorian at the end of the day. And it's that 9th fret, 2nd string. That would be G sharp or A flat. I would call it G sharp in the instance that we're using it. But also there is a bend in this one, and we will cover it. But in essence, it doesn't come all the way back down to where it should. It doesn't. It does and that's on purpose. And, we all, or I shouldn't say we, I always talk about it's okay to have flaws. And if you ever watch Facebook, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Nobody's watching a video of a guy in a lawn chair sitting out and enjoying the breeze. There's not a million views on those videos. And if you can find one, prove me wrong, that's fine. Nobody's happy with stability or and they lived happily ever after. There has to be a problem or a conundrum and resolve. And so I throw that note in, and I know it's off key, but it grabs the audience. It sets it up until their ears are tuned in, and they may be looking for errors, and that's fine. They're still looking. That's what matters. When you phrase, or when you go into the next phrase, I should say, they're already listening compared to even whenever you started the solo or the lick. So the theory behind the lick, we are starting on 10th fret, 2nd string, which is A, and we're going to bend it up to the equivalent of 12th fret, 2nd string, which is B. So, and I'm raking the strings, and I do want to mention, it's hard to rake at just any given spot, and the reason is you have harmonics, and, that lick would sound like it's not too pleasant. So I go with the 8th fret, because even if you do get harmonics, they decay or die real quick. So if you go, you really get it dead. So I start right here, and I do reinforce my bend on this one, and I, bring it up from A to B. And as it starts to decay, I add some vibrato, and then I get really, there's a lot of vibrato to the note. That's just to make it last longer. In the first bend, I deaden it with this hand. I do want to stress that it's a then I stop it. And the second bend, I don't rake the strings on, and it's starting bent up to that B, the 12th fret, 2nd string equivalent. And so about right there. Whenever I'm in the middle of the lick, I can do it. It's very hard to be talking and remember with physical or muscle memory where it's at. But you're starting there, and you're only letting it drop to the equivalent of 11th fret, 2nd string, which is an A sharp / B flat. As I mentioned, it doesn't fit, and for that matter, it's the note that everybody goes, huh? But that's what you want with this. And so it's got a, and then yet again, the same vibrato trick. This time, instead of deadening it with my hand, I slide out of it. Once it's hit that point that I can tell it's just not going to resonate out anymore, I slide out of it. I give the drums a chance to kind of, give the flavor of the rhythm with the kick and the snare. I kind of hold out that first note. It's kind of got a latency to it. And what you're doing is, as I said, it's a Cliffs of Dover variation. Your pedal tone or pedal point is going to be 7th fret, 1st string. And we're going down the blues Dorian hybrid, and we are string skipping for 2 of them, 2 notes of it. You're hitting that 7th fret, 1st string, then 10th fret, 2nd string, 7th fret, 1st string, 9th fret, 2nd string, 7th fret, 1st string, 10th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, 1st string, 9th fret, 3rd string, then 7th fret, 1st string, 10th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, 1st string, 9th fret, 2nd string, and then 7th fret, 1st string, 10th fret, 2nd string. And so that brings you back to the beginning of the lick. The lick actually, I guess, dies, and then it starts over. You're going to do that 2 times. And tips I will give on that part, if you can be conscious or cognitive of it while you're doing this, the first, that pedal point, what I do is I'm fretting the 7th fret, 1st string, but I'm letting my finger, if you can see, it's not actually fretting the note, it's actually rubbing against the note while fretting that 1st string. So the 2nd string is kind of dampened automatically by me laying my finger like this. And the reason I stress that is if you're missing the string skipping, you know, it's an off night, whatever you want to go with, it's going to sound, I can't even mess it up, but see, there's that second, and it fits because I'm doing this lick in B. But if I wasn't doing it in B, like A, see, it sounds terrible. If you do that, it deadens that area. So theory-wise, that's B, that's A, that's G sharp, which is your defining Dorian moment. That is F, and that is E. That's the notes we're playing with here. And then you're going to start the lick over at the beginning. It's going to be 7th fret, 1st string, still arpeggio, pointer, pedal tone. And then 10th fret, 2nd string, 7th fret, 1st string, 9th fret, 2nd string, 7th fret, 1st string, 10th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, 1st string, 9th fret, 3rd string. Then we're going to just keep going back and forth for 4 times. So it's kind of like you're playing that. Then we're going to do it 3 more times. We're going to go 7th fret, 1st string, 10th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, 1st string, 9th fret, 3rd string. And it's just a hop. It's a... When you come to the 4th time, so we're at... You want to bend it. I've been a little wide there, but it's like... And it's just the kind of... with a bend. So that is 9th fret, 3rd string, bent up to a 10th fret. E being bent up to that F. And then instead, because naturally what I would do is come out of that, you know... But instead, I decided to play with the octave. And so it's and it is 10th fret, 1st string, 12th fret, 1st string, and then a bend. I would say that it falls between 13th and 14th, but it's a... And then I'm pulling off to that 10th fret, and then landing on the 12th fret of the 2nd string. So note-wise, you're playing D, E, kind of bent up to an F, and then back to the D, and then B. Then what I do to finish off this lick, and you could go... You could also go... What I found to be the most compelling, though, was to do... But what I added to it, and I'm going to try my best to show you this. It's another finger fretting trick, I guess. What I do is not only do I grab that, it'd be a 17th fret 1st string, your A, and we're bending up towards a B. I actually slip B, or the 2nd string, underneath my finger. So you're actually playing 17th fret 1st and 2nd string. And that's, you know, A and E together. What it does, though, is where you're sliding underneath your E, best I can tell, or 1st string, is bent at more than the 2nd or B string. So it gives you that really, that Floyd Rose, Dimebag Darrell, like... But it also has a very Western feel to it, you know. But it adds some spice to it. It just, instead of landing it, it's more of a... It's just got a little bit of... It's like a harmony slipping in there on a Pink Floyd tune. As always, I do like to mention that this lick was recorded the same as the last 2 licks with TH3 overloud, with a DV Mark amp head on the reg channel, a what's called an M Vintage, but it's a play on the Celestion Vintage 30s, a simulation cab or cab sim, IR cab. And the reverb again was at about 4% wet signal, and that was all I was running. So if you want to get that tone, if you're wondering how I'm getting it, that's how. Caught it with your ears, you may not have. I was actually sitting down on a couch, zoning out the TV one night, and I thought to myself, how do you take Eric Johnson's Cliffs of Dover and make it fit in with metal, with hard rock, with new metal, whatever you want to go with? Because it's an awesome lick. I mean, I've sat down and tried, and I know Eric Johnson, you know, give the man his dues. But for what I usually play, it's very cheery compared to what I go for. And it's not loud or vulgar. And I was like, well, how do we make that fit? You know, and I'm always telling everybody, you know, take these licks, modify them, and this is a perfect example. I was just sitting around in front of the TV, and once I looked at it, yet again, it's that Dorian hybrid blues, you know. And it's based around that. So that's where this lick originates from. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be able to see the licks of the week as they come out. Make sure to see the old licks of the week. They're still out there to be viewed and learned from. And until then, take this lick, make it your own, do it better than I do. Show me that you do it better than I do. I'll be thrilled. But take care and keep riffing.